What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Legitical Response. Now, we talk about Democrats a lot. We talked about the shadow campaign, and we're going to get into a little bit a story that came up that is kind of weird, and we're getting some investigation on this. I heard about this a little while back, but we're finally getting some investigation into this. Check this out, y'all. Virginia AG Jason Myers vows to investigate Democrat donation platform Act Blue after fraud allegations. Now, these allegations come from O'Keefe Media Group, James O'Keefe, who once had Project Veritas, but got booted from that over some BS, to be honest with you. If you followed that story, you know exactly what happened with that, but he's back at it. You know, he's on his grind. He's doing his thing. And he has uncovered some quite fishy evidence here of some donations going on that don't make any sense. I'm going to play a little clip for you just to get you up to speed right fast.
FEC data shows that some senior citizens across the U.S. have been donating thousands of times per year. Some of these individuals' names and addresses are attached to over $200,000 in contributions. We went and knocked on a few of their doors to corroborate the data that we received from a group of citizen journalists called Election Watch in Maryland. This is James O'Keefe with OMG. I'm here in Annapolis, Maryland. It's an individual who has donated a total of $217,000 made through 12,000 different contributions in a 3-year period of time. Now, sometimes these contributions have been made in variations of his name and variations of his address. You see this chart here. This chart shows a breakdown of the committees that were earmarked to receive the donations made through Act Blue. And this is all FEC and state data. We're wondering if these donors are victims of what appears to be a money laundering scheme, or these residents actually participated in the scheme, or making phone calls, or knocking on doors. These are things that you can do. We hope you do that. Follow me along and see what happens. We know of Annapolis, Maryland, who in the year 2022 allegedly contributed over 1,000 times to Act Blue, totaling $18,849.77. That means Cindy would have had to donate 3 times a day, every day, for the whole year. Well, the question is, you did donate to Act Blue, right?
Yes, once in a while, yes.
Did you donate 1,009 times?
I don't know. I mean, once in a while I donate $5 or so dollars or something like that during election year.
What about $18,850?
I doubt that.
Not that many donations.
No, I don't think so.
The Federal Election Commission indicates that much money was donated to Act Blue and Biden for president.
I wish I could have donated $18,000 to Biden's presidency.
How much did you donate?
I don't know. I don't
Order
know.
of magnitude.
Like I said, I donate $5 once in a while because I have various charities I like to give to.
Do you know people are using your address?
I don't think so.
Okay, so that's quite insane if you ask me. Tens of thousands of dollars these people are quote-unquote donating, but they're not really donating this. He went to a lot of places. He's got a lot of videos showing us. This was just a brief snippet of that. And, you know, it kind of makes you wonder what's going on here. What is really happening? Of course, we're going to get the investigation, but we like to do a little bit of speculating around here. Is this some sort of money laundering scheme? You know, what are the Democrats up to? We know, like I talked about with the shadow campaign, Democrats love to cheat. They're willing to do anything and everything. Lie, cheat, steal, almost kill. Kill to, as a matter of fact, to win an election. Like, right, the shadow campaign, we covered that. That was quite insane if you ask me. And as a matter of fact, if you haven't seen that video, I would suggest go check that out. It is enlightening, to say the least, upsetting at worst, you know what I mean? Because what the Democrats did in the 2020 election, and to think they're not going to do that again, what they did, though, was just blatant cheating. And it's like, you know, completely unfair. However, you know, Republicans caught on to that, so Democrats have to come up with a new strategy. We've talked about the HAVV, the Help America Vote Verification, how there's tens of thousands, if not millions of people getting registered to vote without IDs. right? Like, how many Americans do you know that don't have an ID, right? It's requirement in some states. You have to have an ID once you become a certain age, especially at voting age, right? Once you turn 18, you have to have an ID, driver's license, blah, 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 blah. So who are all these people being signed up to vote and don't have IDs, right? And then there's tens of thousands of these people don't have a matching social security number. I know I say social security number kind of hard. Don't know why it's hard for me to say social security, but it kind of is. But that's neither here nor there. It's just my weirdness, I guess you could say, which we're going to talk about in my next video. But anyway, so this is all very peculiar, what's going on with the HAVV. And this, on top of this, is this a money laundering scheme? Is this some sort of way that, Democrat politicians are getting paid off? Is this going for actual campaign donations? What is really going on? Because why would they put donations in people's names, right? Like you heard in that video, some people would have to donate 3 times a day for a year. Upwards of $800,000 in some instances. Let's get into this story because this is kind of insane. But hopefully we'll get some answers. The Virginia Attorney General has vowed to look into allegations that the Democrat donation platform ActBlue had thousands of donations registered under stolen identities and names. AG Jason Myers, I'm going to just say that. I don't think I'm pronouncing it right, but I'm going to just say Myers, posted in response to Charlie Kirk flagging a donation anomaly in Virginia where a 79-year-old resident living in an apartment at $2,000 per month made 22,619 separate donations since 2019, totaling more than $800,000, right? Who in their right mind would donate 22,000 times in, what is that, 5 years? That's a lot. That's a whole lot. And if you do your math right quick, yeah, that's way more than once per day. That's way more than once per day. That's multiple times, 3 to 4 times per day. Right? And if you divide that up, I don't know what, $22,000 divided by 5 years per day. That's a lot. Yeah, that's quite a bit. That's like, what, $12 a day for 5 years, every single day. $12 a day. I'm sorry, there's something fishy going on here. And, to think that only the Democrats are doing this, you're naive if you think that only Democrats are doing this. It's almost certain Republicans are doing this too. We just haven't found evidence of it yet. But, if Republicans are doing it, shame on you. You need to be investigated as well. And I hope the AG looks into that because we don't need any politicians. We've got so much corruption going on in politics right now. And it's up to us to try to root some of this corruption out. Don't think Trump's going to come in and fix everything. He can only do so much. We talk about Schedule F all the damn time. And, I hope that goes through. We need to get rid of a lot of the bloated bureaucrats that we have in our federal government. It is causing us to spend buttloads of money in a deficit, for God's sakes. And it just doesn't make any sense. And it just adds more to the corruption because you got more people, there's more chances for more corruption, if you ask me. A lot of people, they're screaming, about Project 2025, and it's got some insane... It's like I've been arguing with a guy about it over the past couple days over comments. And it's like, okay, dude, come on. You're really freaking out here, right? Like, a lot of the stuff in Project 2025 is common sense. But there is some really odd ideas, some stuff that will never go through the courts. But these people are over here freaking out, like absolutely just losing their minds over Donald Trump, quote unquote Project 2025, which he's actually disavowed Project 2025. So I don't know what's going on. Like, Trump says he doesn't know anything about it. It was written up by a lot of people that worked for Trump, which doesn't mean anything. Right? If you want to be honest about it, doesn't mean a damn thing. It's like I told the guy yesterday. Okay, so you're over here flipping your lid. I find it entertaining to see all these leftists just completely flipping out because a think tank did think tank stuff. right? It's like, come on now, it's a think tank. The Heritage Foundation, that's all they done. It's just a proposal. Like, this is stuff that conservatives would like to see. It's like, it's not policy prescription. Donald Trump hasn't said he was going to do any of this garbage. So it's like, come on, some of it's good, like Schedule F. Like, yes, get rid of some bureaucrats. We have a bloated federal government. But some of it doesn't make any sense whatsoever and would never get through the courts. Like I also told that guy, if he happens to come across this video, have a little bit of faith in your court systems, by the way, which are skewed, to be honest with you, but have a little bit of faith in the federal court system to work this stuff out. A lot of this stuff, most policy stuff like this would have to go through the court system and be approved by federal judges. Joe Biden has put a lot of federal judges, a lot of very progressive, very insane federal judges on the circuit. So don't be surprised if some of this stuff comes up in front of one of these insane progressive federal judges. Right? It'll get knocked down for sure. And Trump will not be able to do it. That's the beauty of our system. Checks and balances, man. That's what I try to tell people all the time. They're just flipping their freaking lid over this. You really think Trump's going to be just allowed to do whatever you want? Like I saw a headline earlier talking about one of these Democrat mayors in some city. I forget what city it was. I'm sorry. But talking about, if Trump ever gets elected, he's not going to leave office. Like, how many times have we heard that? What? And just hang on for a second. He did leave office as a matter of fact because of the court systems, because everything worked like it was supposed to. No. January 6th wasn't Donald Trump trying to stay in power. I'm sorry. That was not organized. That was a protest that got out of hand. As a matter of fact, the left knows damn good and well how easily some of your protests can get out of hand, don't you, leftists? Yeah, the summer of 2020, in case you forget. How about all this freaking Hamas BS? The Free Palestine crap y'all got going on. Your protests get more violent than anything you see on the right. I'm sorry. That's just the facts of the matter. But let's keep going with the story, because if not, I will rant on until the cows come home. My office is aware of these allegations, and rest assured we are looking into it, the AG said in a post. Kirk wrote in his original statement, "It's trivially easy to find massive repeated donations to ActBlue that use stolen identities and quite possibly stolen credit cards." The TPUSA founder added, for example, one person in Virginia had been named in 22,619 separate donations since 2019, totaling more than $800,000. Obviously, she's being exploited for some kind of money laundering operation. ActBlue raises from all 50 states. We have 50 state AGs. When will one of them take action? And now we have one. Kirk had shared a post from Nova Campaigns, which shared that 79-year-old Carrie Alberti was making thousands of donations each year. The account commented that it was utter fraud, ID theft via ActBlue. ActBlue has been the subject of multiple investigations from O'Keefe Media Group, where people on fixed incomes have their names attached on thousands of donations to Democrats, amounting to tens of thousands of dollars. ActBlue claims that it is the home of small dollar donors for those on the left. The donation platform is available to Democratic candidates and committees, progressive organizations, and nonprofits that share our values for no cost besides the $3.95 processing fee on donations per the group's About page. So hang on here. So, of course, you got a company that deals with donations, that donates money. That money is going to a lot of places. It's not just going to politicians. So think about who you're donating to when you donate, because you got to think, companies like this have overhead. Is this a money laundering scheme? Are they taking money from Democrats? Right? Is Republicans responsible for ActBlue? Right? That's what you would think. Because why in the hell would Democrats steal from Democrats? Right? Democrat on Democrat crime. That's what you would call that, I guess. That's just insane to me. Like, I really hope more AGs get involved in this. I really hope this story breaks a little bit bigger, but this is something you're not going to hear about on the mainstream media. I'm sorry, they just outright refuse to report stuff like this. Constantly. That's pretty much all the news I cover is stuff that the mainstream isn't covering. I know. You don't have to get out in the comments and start yelling and screaming at me about, yeah, you do. You cover stuff all the time that the mainstream. I know. I try to cover stuff, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you got slow news days, and I got 2 stories. I got to make 2 videos a day, so, sometimes I got to cover that stuff. But getting back to the subject matter, it's like, so they're not just donating to politicians. They're donating to all these organizations, progressive groups, and all this other stuff, and they get $3.95 per donation processing fee. So think about that. If you donate just $5, whoever you donate it to is only getting $1.05. That's insane. That's quite insane, if you ask me. You'd be better off just donating straight to their campaign instead of going through some intermediate, some middleman. But it makes you wonder, what's going on? Like, what's going on underneath the surface? This is the perfect opportunity for some of these people in this organization to launder money for illegal purposes. Like, what is the crime that they're trying to cover up here? Like, what are they laundering this money for, if that's what it is? Because that sure is what it seems like. Because, it's my understanding that people can only donate, I think it's $2,500 personally to any candidate. So that's why we have these PACs and these super PACs. So you can get rich billionaires and millionaires to donate millions of dollars to these places. And these PACs, they have overhead, they have employees and all this other garbage that they got to pay for. So you're giving money to pay these people. But they give money out to all different types of candidates. Act Blue is one of those PACs. So it's like, where's this money going? Where's it coming from? And what is the need to take people's name that have actually donated, like we saw in that video? But obviously, that lady didn't donate 22,619 times, right? Of course, that wasn't the same lady. Anecdotally, she didn't donate that many. Well, I think what did he say? It was 1,009 times? No. People don't donate that often. 1,009 times, right? That's 4 years. No. 3.5 years of donations every day. Just that one. That's not talking about the 22,000 one. 1,000 donations. You only make donations to a political candidate every once in a while. Like your congressman, every 2 years. So there you go. Once every 2 years, maybe a couple times during a cycle, right? Think about that. Donate to a president, right? A lot of people donate to presidential campaigns. That's once every 4 years. You might donate a couple of times. And this is supposed to be grassroots, right? Like broke people. Not the rich billionaires paying into these PACs or whatever. It's supposed to be just broke mofos. So it doesn't make any sense for some of these people to be donating that many freaking times, right? So there's obviously something going on. And I call upon more of these state AGs to get involved with this. Put some freaking money behind this and let's investigate this. And while you're at it, just for the sake of transparency, let's look into any type of organization that backs Republicans as well. Because it's almost a guarantee that Republicans are doing something similar. Maybe they're not. It's possible. But it's almost guaranteed that because politicians are going to be a politician. You and I both know that. You and I both know politicians are dirty on both sides. Independent, Republican, Democrat, Green, whatever, doesn't matter. Politicians, generally speaking, are involved in some sort of corruption. They almost have to be. Right? It's almost a given these days that your politician's going to be just a little bit corrupt. Maybe not a lot corrupt, But they could be a lot corrupt because we do have a lot of politicians that are a lot corrupt. And that's why I stress constantly that, look, we got to get out there and vote in the primaries. The primaries are the most important elections if you want change. If you want change, you got to get out there and vote in that primary. That is the most important election you can vote in. But don't let me beat that dead horse, y'all. Beat that dead horse yourself. We need to get more involved in politics because, like I always say, do you really want to not have a choice in the person that makes the rules that you have to live by? Yeah, I don't think so. I like kind of having a say-so on who makes my rules. Of course, it's not really that simple, but I like to simplify it like that. You know, simplification is something that I tend to do pretty well because I'm a simple kind of person. But I think I've rambled on for long enough on this one, y'all. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this. Give me your conspiracy theories. What do you think is going on with this Act Blue, with these people donating 22,619 times for over 800,000 freaking dollars? Or what do you think about that video? And do you think this is a money laundering scheme, or is there something deeper going on? Is this some sort of a racket? Maybe we could get racketeering charges coming in with some of this, right? Like, those seem to be popular these days. But y'all let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section. That is all I've got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching. And you guys try to have a good day. And stay legitical. Somewhere right there. Peace.